What's up YouTube, welcome back to another video. Quite an exciting day and I am at the Royal Enfield TAURUS Motors, VANASTHALIPUram. Actually quite excited to show you around this particular motorcycle. This is the Royal Enfield's answer for the 400cc category motorcycles, and this is their second motorcycle in the 450cc lineup. The Himalayan is over there. If you notice, a lot of the components kind of look familiar. July 2023, that's when the Speed 400 got launched, and it was taken by surprise that they have launched that bike at a very competitive price of 2.23 lakhs ex-showroom at that time. And the fit and finish, the price and all the other things that it was on offer was quite exciting for a lot of bike enthusiasts. Now before I get started with riding the motorcycle, I'll quickly give you the things that are on offer. Just a 2-minute walk around. LED headlamp in the front, LED indicators, pretty much similar to the way that Himalayan was, and also you get the similar type of turn signals, come brake light, just very similar to the way that Himalayan is over there. Then we have this nice 43mm telescopic front forks with the very familiar type of fork protectors. If you notice, even the Hunter has something similar of that sorts. A 310 section disc, and you get around 270mm disc at the back. The brakes are from Biber, 2-piston caliper at the front, 1-piston caliper at the back, and exhaust kind of looks very familiar as well. It's a 452cc Sherpa engine, similar to the way that Himalayan was. It's pretty much the same, 40 bhp, 40 newton meters of torque, 120 section tire, which is a really nice thing. They are block pattern tires. They kind of look like they are made for the off-road, but that's not actually the case. I'll tell you why once I start riding it. And my second favorite part is the 160 section tire at the rear. This is actually what makes it really exciting, because I think 160 section tire is kind of like a first in the sub 3 lakh motorcycles so far in India. Then 780mm seat height, 169mm of ground clearance. You get TFT display over here. This is similar to the Himalayan as well, but since this is a mid variant, I believe the black one is a mid variant and the Brava Blue is the top end variant. And the instrumentation console, you get a similar type of instrument cluster over here like the Himalayan. However, only for the top and mid variants you get a TFT display. For the base variant you have to stick with analog, the one that comes on the Meteor 350. Then you have a nice tactile familiar switch patterns. Alright then, let's get started and I'll tell you more about this. Now as soon as you sit on the motorcycle, it kind of feels like you are sitting on a nicely proportionate bike. Not too slim tank, not too thick either. You have 11 liters fuel tank, but it does not feel too small either. That's a good thing that they have designed it in this way, because it kind of looks like a teardrop over here. Now the fuel cap is a little offset to the right. I'll start her up. Very similar to the way that Himalayan sounds, since it is Sherpa engine itself. I have a feeling that when I'm trying to rev the motorcycle, it is a little bit refined than the Sherpa that was on the Himalayan, but let's see how it rides and I'll tell you more about that. Well, starting off with the motorcycle, the low end feels a little refined. I feel that it is a little bit more refined than the Himalayan 450. Let's see how it rides in the top end and how it feels like. Does it have any vibrations or not? I'll give you that in a moment. Hopefully it doesn't rain today, but let's see. Mirrors do have a nice visibility. This is very familiar mirrors that I have seen on the Hunter 350, and even on the Classic 350. It's pretty much the same kind of visibility for the mirrors. Suspension, it's done very well. Not too hard, not too soft again, but kind of just a little bit stiffer than the Speed 400. Speed 400 has a much softer suspension setup, but this one has soft enough, not too hard. Brakes are good. The rear brake is absolutely good, much better than the Speed 400 for sure, because of the 270mm disc. That's what Royal Enfield does very well, because I have seen a lot of bikes from Bajaj, be it KTM or Husqvarna as well. The rear brake always sucks for some reason. They give out 220 or 230mm discs for some reason, and it kind of doesn't really give you that confidence to brake just based on the rear brake. However, you shouldn't be braking only on the rear one, but this one kind of gives you a confidence that even if something comes up right in front of you, you can use both the brakes for sure. But the rear brake kind of also has a good bite, so that's a good thing. Second thing, there is no traction control, so that is a bummer, because I expected a traction control on this one. Speed 400 has switchable traction control, but no switchable ABS. Even on this one, you do not get the switchable ABS. The bike rides really well. I'm at 4000 RPM right now. It starts giving me a little bit of vibes at 4000 RPM itself. The foot peg vibrations are seeping in. So again, there is a room for improvement when it comes to the vibrations, but it's not something that would bother you much, because the low end, 2000, 3000, 4000 RPM, till there you have a very refined engine. Fuel efficiency is something that might not be as good as the Speed 400 again, because I have seen a lot of videos stating that the fuel efficiency is not as great. And talking about coupled with the engine braking, it is actually braking really nice. It's slowing down very well. Yes, there is a little bit of stiffness with the suspension setup, but you would not be that much uncomfortable the way that it feels on the CB300R, because that one has quite a bit stiffer suspension setup. I think this one lies somewhere in between the Speed 400 and CBR 300R. So it's like midway of these two motorcycles, because suspension setup on the Speed 400 is quite soft. It's the opposite spectrum on the CB300R, if I'm not wrong. Let me check the tractability of the motor. Below 3000 RPM you have a little bit of lugging, and let's see how it feels like. I'm liking the way that the rear brake feels. The bite is quite good actually. There is a slight latency in the first gear when you are picking up the motorcycle. It has that minor lag, I feel, when you are giving a throttle and it's taking a millisecond of time to respond to the input. You have to be a little careful when you're trying to rev the motorcycle in those kind of roads that you just saw. I feel that lack of traction control is kind of a bummer, because even the CB300F that is for sale for at around 1.7 lakhs, that gives you traction control, but this one does not. Kind of a sad thing. Power band is coming in from 4000 or 4500 RPM, and it's taking you up to 8000 RPM. That's a really nice thing. Slipper clutch is kicking in very nicely as well. Talking about the motorcycle's ride quality, I like the way that it feels. I like the way that it rides actually. And the thing is, it is good at the low end, just like Speed 400. It feels refined, but when you are revving the motorcycle a little hard, from 4500 RPM you kind of start to feel that there are vibes coming in here and there. First it starts from the foot pegs, and then you feel in between your thighs, something like that. Overall, the way that the bike is, the way that the bike feels, overall proportions of the bike, I really love the way that they have designed it. Because if you look at the Speed 400, no offense to the owners of the Speed 400, but if you are someone who is taller than 5'11", then I used to suggest them to go for a scrambler, because Speed 400 used to feel a little too compact for them. This one is not like that. I feel that they have designed it very proportionately so that even the rider who is 5 feet 11 or 6, they can be quite comfortable with the way that this bike is designed. The seat height, although it is low, you can swap it with another seat, flat seat. I've seen the reviews that it is hard. Maybe the aftermarket seats might come up which will be much cushier than that. However, the way that Royal Enfield approached that problem of solving the bike's dimensions for different types of people, different people with different heights, with just a swap of seat, that is nice thing. Another thing that I want to tell you is that the fuel efficiency might be a little less compared to the Speed 400, but the way that it feels overall is quite good enough. There are some cons definitely, like the way that suspension is. I think Speed 400 suspension is much better than this. I mean, it's softer than this. This one is not as hard as the CB300R or the maybe like CB300F. If you have ever ridden it, then it's not that hard. But bro, some of the cons on this motorcycle are, I feel that Royal Enfield should have given a lot more options when it comes to colors. The base variant has only like smoke silver, that is good enough, but the rest of the other colors I'm not actually that happy with them. I'm not the person who likes a lot of mess in the colors. This one is still fine, but the purple and yellow, not my type. Maybe for a global market it might be good enough. They should have also given the option for mono colors like the black, full black, red, blue, something like that, because many of the Indians kind of also prefer the monotonous colors as well. Talking about the proportions of the bike, this is what I think that Royal Enfield has done very well. Overall, the bike is quite proportionately designed. Only thing that I kind of did not like is the fact that they have given a lot of bolts around the casing. At sometimes it feels a little messy when you're looking at that part. You can get a lot of different accessories. One of the accessories that is already installed on this one is the company's crash guard or engine guard, but you can also install a grill in the front for the headlight, and you can swap the seat for a more scooped setup and also a flat seat if you want a tall seating position. 780mm, it's not too hard to ride. It's very comfortable for me. I am able to handle it very easily. My height is 5 feet 6. Now talking about the tires, overall the way that the design is of the motorcycle, this block pattern tires gives you that pop. It kind of gives a little bit of theme for the scrambler as well, but it's not actually made for off-roading, not even a little bit of off-roading, because the ground clearance is just 169mm, better than the Hunter 350 but not as good as the CB300F, which has a 177mm of seat height, ground clearance, and Speed 400 I believe has 172 or something, somewhere around that. However, on a day-to-day basis, if you're not going on a taller speed bumps, then it should do well without any problems. You also have an accessory for this one. This is the bash plate for the bottom part of the engine. That costs quite a bit. I think the accessories are priced a little higher. That's what I feel. They should have kept it economical, considering the bike itself is more than Speed 400. The fact that you are getting a nice motorcycle with a chunky tire and overall good proportions, good enough service reach if you are ever going on a long tour. The benefit of Royal Enfield is that you have a good service reach when it comes to Triumph or any other brands other than Bajaj. The service reach might not be that great. If you compare it with the Speed 400 itself, then the service centers are mostly located in the urban areas. Hopefully they might expand it a lot more. However, Royal Enfield has a very widespread service reach, so that's the advantage that they have with this bike as well. You will get that advantage. Now you can also keep a lot of luggage over here. The payload is at 191 kgs overall. That's nice thing again. These are for the panniers, soft box pannier or something like that. You can attach them. Tell me in the comments down below, what do you guys think about the motorcycle. The prices for this bike starts from 2.39 lakhs ex showroom for the base variant smoke silver, and for the top end Brava blue, I think it is somewhere around 2.54 around that. Well, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Do subscribe to the channel if you like the video, and do not forget to share, subscribe and comment.